Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to the session on AWS Cloud Computing. Before getting started, let me introduce myself. My name is Ravi and I am one of the expert trainers and certified professional in AWS at Cosmic Technologies. Today, we're going to discuss about cloud computing and here's the agenda of it. Why cloud computing? What is cloud computing? And we're also going to see some of the cloud providers that are available in the market now. Why cloud computing? Why do I need to learn? Does it really help me in my career? All these questions will be answered with this session. Let's try to understand a scenario that is something before cloud computing. We'll take the scenario which is something before cloud computing and understand this process that people used to or the industries used to follow before cloud computing. Let's suppose you want to start a small business. What is something that first we're gonna do to set up our IT infrastructure? Let me get onto my sketchboard. Right. So this is something before cloud computing, and this is something after cloud computing. Let's understand the scenario before cloud first. So to set up an IT infrastructure for my business, the first thing that I'm gonna do is buy physical server. This is physical servers. Now, once you buy the physical server or servers based on your business size, you need to allocate a space to set up these servers in particular location. Let's suppose this is your building and you bought the physical servers. You need to set up somewhere on your building. Normally we call that as a data center or a server room if it is a bigger business where you have huge collection of servers within your premises, within your location. So you need to allocate some space. Maybe you need to allocate a floor to set up all these servers by connecting all of them. Now, once you set it up, you need to hire a technical person or a technical team to look after these servers. Any problem, anything wrong with these servers, these technical person or a team has to look after these servers, isn't it? So this is something before cloud the industries used to follow. They used to buy their own physical servers, put it there on their building, and there is their own team who is to look after this. Though their business is not IT, they have to have this IT infrastructure set up. And what is that they are doing? Buying a physical server for their IT infrastructure, this is a cost to the company. Yes. Allocating a space, you need to allocate a floor or some space to set up these physical servers. That is a cost to the company. Yes. Hiring a person, technical person or a team, technical team is also a cost to the company. Like you need to pay them a salary and so on and so forth. You have a lot of other key things before cloud computing when you wanted to set up your IT infrastructure. Now let's take the same situation after the cloud has come into picture. We'll take the same situation and try to identify or try to understand how cloud computing is helping the industries or the people with all of these costs they used to put it before. Before I talk about this, let's understand what is a cloud. Normally, when you type cloud in the internet, you might have seen this cloud kind of a picture, but it is not all of that. It has a lot many things to know. Now, at a very high level, what is a cloud? Cloud is a huge collection of servers located in some remote location, and we as a customers are accessing those servers from our on-premise location. So on-premise is something your location. From where location you are trying to access a server which is not located in your place, but it is somewhere located elsewhere, and you are having the similar experience how you are accessing your own machine from your location, which means that the servers which are there in your on-premise location, which is in your location, what is the experience that you are getting when you're accessing these servers, you're having the same experience when you're trying to access the server which is in the cloud. There is no difference at all. And in fact, it is more than that. The experience that you get it in the cloud is more. So cloud, it is a huge collection of servers located in some remote location, and we are accessing those servers just like we're accessing from our own location. That's what cloud is. Now let's come back to our example. So this was before cloud, we used to do all of this. Now once the cloud computing has come in, let's see. What is the first thing that you have to do is you need to buy virtual servers, and these are virtual servers, which means that these servers are not located in your location and you're accessing those servers. These are called virtual servers. You have to buy them first. Now, second thing, since these are virtual servers which are not located in your location, you don't need to have a space allocated for them. Similarly, you need to have a technical team to look after these servers because these servers are not owned by you. These are owned by the cloud providers. So if something goes wrong with these servers, the cloud providers has to take care of it, but not us, because we are accessing these servers and we are paying for the service given by these cloud providers. So what is that? It is happening now. So buy the virtual servers. Yes, this is cost involved. This is the cost to the company. Are you allocating any space? No, there is no cost involved. No. Do you have any technical person or a team? No, because these are virtual servers and I'm not going to take care of it. So the only cost that you are spending is buying the virtual servers. And now you need to understand the fact that physical servers are always costly than the virtual servers. So now, after the cloud computing has come in, there is a lot of cost has been cut down to the industries or the companies or the individuals. Like it's almost more than a 50% of the cost has been reduced. Earlier, it is everything is a cost, though this is not your core business. But now you are spending very minimal, and that is only on the virtual servers. And this is not the only advantages of cloud computing. And these are not the only reasons why people are moving towards cloud. Let's take another situation on the same example. Now, let's suppose I'm in a on-premise environment, which is something before cloud, and my business is doing really well, and I have increased my customer base for my application. Right, so once it got increased, maybe I need to buy some extra servers so that I can accommodate my customer base in accessing my application. So what I have to do, I have to buy some extra servers based on the customer base I have increased. So I have bought the servers, maybe 2 servers I have bought, and my business is really doing well. And though these servers, it cost me more huge, I have bought it because I need to get my business going, so I bought these servers. Now down the line 1 year, there is a huge competition and my customer base has been cut down, and I can live with these 2 servers which are there before, but since my customer base has been cut down, I no more need these servers. But I have invested a lot on this, and these are physical servers which I have bought when my business is doing really well. So what I'm going to do with these servers now, because I invested a lot on these physical servers, either I have to sell them off or I have to keep them like that. But it's a cost. I have expended a lot on this, and it is almost a waste of effort that I have put on this. So this is the biggest challenge before cloud has come into picture. Now let's see the same situation, how it handled in cloud. Now, when your business is doing well, only thing you just need to do is just increase your servers. Now that you are just paying only for these servers, and now since you got increased with these servers, you're gonna add up these two, and you will be start paying for these two servers as well when your business is doing really well. Now, all of a sudden, maybe down the line, 1 year or 2 year, your business is not doing really well. Maybe you can live with these two servers. Only thing what you can do is just go to the cloud and say, I don't need these servers. Right from that point of time, you will be not charged for these servers. You'll be only charged for the servers that you are using. This is the biggest flexibility and the advantage when you move to cloud. So the point here I wanted to make is whatever the usage that you do, you're gonna pay only for that in cloud. So if you are using two servers, you'll be paid only for those two servers. If you are using three servers, you'll be paid only for the three servers, not anything more than that or extra. So these are the biggest advantages of cloud computing, and that's the reason all the industries individuals are moving towards cloud. And this is what why people are moving to cloud. We understood the differences and the scenarios that were there before cloud, which is on premise, and we also seen the same situation. What are the advantages that they're getting once they move on to cloud computing? And these are the few things which I put it on the slide, and I put on my sketchboard the top 3 items so that it is easy for you to understand it. And there are some terminologies which you need to understand when you move on to the cloud computing. We'll see that in a moment. And before that, we will also come up with some of the terminologies like scalability, ownership, all this we'll try to understand it. Are we convinced whether the cloud is beneficial or it is still on-premises beneficial? If you still don't, let's take another example, which is a real-time example. Hope most of you guys know about it. Let's take the example of Flipkart. Flipkart has announced a big billion day in 2014. Hope most of you guys know what it is, isn't it? So let's take that example and try to replicate the scenario of the advantage that the cloud has. Flipkart has, let's suppose there are 4 servers that Flipkart has on its on-premise location, and on a daily basis their traffic is like 100 requests per second, which means that 25 requests per second each server would take. The maximum capacity of each server is 25 requests per second, let's suppose. And that's the reason, since they know their customer base and they have set up their 5 servers for their on-premise setup. Now, on the big billion day, they've announced it for 3 days, the big billion day, and there is a huge traffic. Almost 50% has been increased, like 100 to 150. It has been increased, the traffic, but they still have the 4 servers which would take a maximum of 25 requests per second. Now that what is going to happen with the other 50 requests which is increased? Either those 50 requests has to wait until any of those requests gets released from these servers, or if this servers is kept on loading, maybe the servers might get crashed because of heavy load on those servers. And this is what it happened in 2014 with the Flipkart. All the servers got crashed, and that's where the big billion day was unsuccessful. The servers got crashed and the Flipkart application was down. What they might have done, what they could have done to save themselves from this disaster, they might have done like they could have bought some new servers and set them up so that on the big billion day, though there were huge requests coming in, these servers might have helped them in saving them, running their big billion day and saving them from this crash of these servers. Yes, this might have saved them, but do you really think that's a good idea to buy these expensive servers for the just matter of 3 days of big billion day? Definitely not. If they might have there in cloud, maybe they might have borrowed these extra 2 servers for these 3 days, and they might have paid for those service for those 3 days, and then they might have released right after the big billion day is done, isn't it? So that might have, put them in a big cost effective space, so that they would have spent only for those 3 days but not for all the lifetime, because they have, if they have bought the physical service forever. So this is the real-time example of why people are moving to cloud. These were the issues or the challenges that they used to face before to take any kind of a decision in buying the servers or not buying the servers. But with the cloud coming in, it is just a matter of, you know, taking a decision on the fly. If you want a server, just create a server on the fly. If you don't want it, just cut it down. This increasing of servers and decreasing of servers at any point of time based on your requirement is called scalability. Scaling up is increasing the servers, scaling down is decreasing the servers. And this is the biggest advantage. Well, people are moving to cloud, and that is why industries, individuals are preferring to move on to cloud. All right, so we understood why cloud computing now, why people are moving to cloud. We understood different situations and we understood different examples, real-time example though. Now let's move on to the other topic. What is cloud computing? Now what is cloud computing? Let's see. We understood what is a cloud. Cloud is like remote location where there is a huge collection of servers and we'll be accessing it just like that, isn't it? So this is what the book is definition of it: a remote servers on the internet to store, manage, and process the data. Let's see what this store, manage, and process the data with a practical example. Take a situation again, before cloud. How do we use to store our data before cloud? We used to store our data in pen drives, external hard disk, or sometimes in laptops, isn't it? This is something before cloud. And if at all we wanted to carry this data, what we used to do, we used to carry these external devices along with us in our journey. Or sometimes we used to carry our laptop along with us during our journey, isn't it? But are we doing the same thing now? No. What we are doing, we are uploading everything in the internet, in the cloud environment, like Google Drive or Dropboxes, creating your own account and uploading all your data like your photos, videos, everything onto this drives, which are the cloud environment, and you're just going like that. Even from your mobile nowadays, you are trying to access. It is very flexible, very easy to access all your data. Only thing you need to have is an internet connection. You don't need to carry any physical device along with you nowadays, isn't it? So that is how simple it is. Now, it is not just storing of your data in cloud or in online or in internet. It can do lot many things. The cloud computing would do lot many things. Now, if you go back to my definition, the storing and managing, we have seen what is the processing. Processing is a bigger term. At this point of time, we will keep it very limited. What is this processing exactly? Let me move on to my sketchboard. Now, we understood how we're going to store our data in cloud. Now, let's try to understand what is a processing. I will take an example. Now, let's say you are browsing an application called google.com. You said www.google.com from your laptop. And let's suppose that this google.com application is in cloud. Now, when you say google.com, this request goes and hits this server and gives you back the response with a screen of Google search engine, isn't it? So now that what you do, you just type in something over here and then click on search. That will take as another request to the same Google server and gives back the result with the input that you have given here. What happened actually here? You have typed in something and this request went on here and it is processed your request based on the input that you have given here and gave back the response based on the input that you have given here, isn't it? So it has processed your input data. This is called processing of your input, which is in general English. Now if I put it the same thing in a cloud terminology, this is called computing. Processing of your data is nothing but computing of your data. So now you know what is cloud. Cloud is huge collection of servers located in some remote location, and computing is nothing but processing of your input data. This is what cloud computing is. Hope you understood what is a cloud computing now. Now, the last topic for this session is cloud providers. I just wanted to introduce few of those cloud providers. So this is the reason I have put on this slide, which is the last slide for this session. These are the few top cloud providers I put it in the slide, but there are huge list. There are huge list of cloud companies nowadays in the market, in which I just put few of them. Like Amazon is one of the biggest cloud company. Microsoft Azure is the second largest. Google Cloud, Oracle Cloud, there are a lot many cloud companies. And I've just put few of them, in which Amazon Cloud is the topmost cloud company, which is ranking #1 in the cloud market. Currently, Amazon is the leading cloud company in the market right now. And there are some reasons why Amazon is leading. We're going to talk about those reasons in our next session, but we'll keep it simple for now. I just want to give you a high level introduction of the cloud providers who are there in the market, who are the top right now, and Microsoft Azure is the next biggest competitor of Amazon. But still Amazon is leading and grabbing the most of the cloud market right now. All right, that's all for this session. Hope you liked it. Here in Cosmic, we have real-time experts teaching you every concept with the real-time scenarios, which will help you understand the broader and the real-time picture in detail. All right, that's all for today. See you next time with another session. Thank you.